morning, grade 10 students. This is Ma'am Rona Andrea, and welcome to our research class. For today's topic, I will guide you on how to come up with a research topic on a relevant social issue. You may have heard the word research a couple of times and maybe over 1,000 times whenever your teacher requires you to come up with a homework or maybe a rigid activity to prepare with your team. A research is a very significant part of your life as a student. Remember that research is vital. It is a catalyst for change and progress in our society. So whenever we immerse ourselves into the study of research, we are also looking into answers to our questions, and those answers will eventually lead you to progress your way of thinking, to progress with your actions, and to continue hoping for the progress of our community and our society. So let me inspire you more to come up with a research topic or a research problem that would eventually be beneficial to our community and to our society. The first thing that you need to identify and the first thing that you need to understand is what a research problem is. Can you give me some of your ideas? There, I included some images to help you think or coin keywords in order to explain what a research problem is. You need to understand deeply what a research problem is, so later you can eventually appreciate the elements of a research problem. So let me give you its definition. A research problem is significant, it's important, it's vital, and we need a research problem to challenge a situation, whether that be real or artificial. We need a research problem for us to come up with processes and sub-processes. And those processes will, of course, lead you to a valid and scientific solution to your problems. Of course, do not forget that the solution that you have to arrive at will, of course, matter most in your study. The best solution should start with a very reasonable problem. Another definition of a research problem is it is a perplexing situation after it has been translated into a question. So from your research problem, we will dissect it to form questions, and those questions will be your guide to explore more and to investigate more on how your research problem can come up with solutions and how those solutions would eventually be beneficial to our community. Let's start discussing the elements of a research problem. By discussing all of the elements, I am actually guiding you to forming your research problem. We can think of the situations that we want to change or we want to improve, situations in our school or in our community that we want to innovate on. You can come up with a research problem regarding remediation classes, remedial classes, intervention classes, and most of the students are wondering if the modular print modality or learning delivery has been effective for students to learn or grasp the competencies they need to inculcate in their minds this school year 2020 to 2021. You can start researching problems that you think are important on you, and the research problems that you want to explore should also be within the level of your expertise as students. What is the first element of a research problem? The first element is its aim or purpose. Aim or purpose, please remember, it answers all the whys that will come out from your study. Why do you need to conduct this study? Why should it be relevant to the needs of your community, the needs of your school, the needs of most of the homes or families in your neighborhood? Remember that aim or purpose of your research problem will answer the whys, WHY of your study. Second is locality. The type of research that you want to conduct will, of course, fit into the locality where you want to explore into levels of inquiry. You should consider this research element as one of the important elements of a research problem. Locality is the place of your study or the place where you hope or where you plan to conduct your study. It answers the question where. First, we had aim or purpose. It answers the question whys of your study. Second, we have locality, which answers the question where of your study. Where do you need to conduct your study? Let's have the third. Okay, it's period of the study. How long is it necessary to conduct your study? For some studies, they can have 6 months to complete all the levels or phases, stages of their inquiry. In other critical studies, they need a year or more than a year, maybe 3 years or 5 years to complete or to have saturation of their data. There are situations in our community that you need to observe for the whole year, or if there are instances with which you want to compare all the situations that happened this year, 2020 and 2021, to the educational, just for example, educational learning delivery modality, which will occur next school year, 2021 to 2022. You might want to compare the situations or the learning situations which occurred first in school year 2020, 2021, and the next school year, 2021 to 2022. When you are considering the period of your study, please make sure that you are not sacrificing the quality of your study just so to finish your study ahead of time or just so to finish your study for submission. The nature of your study will also dictate the period or how long should you be conducting your inquiries or how long should you still continue with the stages of the research process. Let's have number 4. Oh, that is the subject matter. That answers the question, what? How about the previous period of your study? That answers the question, when? And here for number 4, it's a subject matter that answers the question, what? What is your research about? Your research could be about comparing the relationship of your teachers, teaching styles, and your learning strategies as students. You might also want to compare teachers who use different strategies in the class. Some teachers want their students to speak a lot, and other teachers prefer to have a lot of group activities. You can have an observation of the two strategies and verify which of the two is more effective. You can have an experimental research design on that. You can also check on your teachers' strategies to motivate students to learn more or to motivate students to answer their module on a schedule or to answer their module given the to answer their module with the guidance of the parents. Oh, it's a good research topic. You can also have some parents and also some teachers to form relationship or partnership in guiding students who are struggling in their in developing their reading skills. There are a lot of research problems that we can explore in our society. Just make sure that your research problem, I mentioned it earlier, is within the level of your expertise, that you won't have a hard time going through the different and critical stages of your research study. Second, that should be reasonable enough to be done by a student. And third, you should also be considering the resources. There are a lot of considerations that we need to have or to embrace in the process of undertaking a research study. And I will discuss more of that while sharing my experiences in our future classes. Next. And probably this is one of the most important research problem elements. It's the population. It answers the question, who? Who will be your respondents, participants, or key informants? Now, if you are conducting a quantitative research study, you call the persons or the people involved in your study as your respondents. Respondents because they will provide you with responses on your questionnaires, or they will provide you with responses and your Google survey forms. Yeah, that most of the researchers these days take advantage of Google survey forms because they can easily collate the responses coming from the people who are fit to answer their questionnaires. Now, why and when do we call people involved in our study as participants? We call them as participants if we are having a qualitative research design. The participants in your study can participate in structured or unstructured interview sessions. So you have to prepare questions for them, and you have to set a schedule when you need to talk to them and when it's best fit for them to answer your questions. The interview session is one of the most critical parts of a qualitative research method. Now, how about key informants? I also mentioned about key informants. There are instances in your study where you would feel that you need to combine qualitative research methods and quantitative research methods. In those instances, when you need to apply the concepts or the processes in a quantitative research design and have it merged to a qualitative research design, then we call it the mixed methods research. The mixed methods research is or was made popular by John Creswell, and you would always see his names whenever you check on Google Scholar what a mixed methods research is. Now, the people involved in a mixed methods research are whom we call as the key informants. With those elements, we have aim or purpose, locality, period of the study, subject matter, and the population. I hope you are just maybe 10 to 15% confident that you can come up with your research problem. Don't worry, because we can maximize that level of confidence once we have these activities. Let's start thinking and brainstorming. Here I have a sample research problem. This research problem is to determine the status of teaching reading among grade 7 students of Rafael Elzatin Memorial High School during the academic year 2021 and 2022. Now, how did grade 7 teachers and grade 7 students get involved in this type of teaching reading? How did the teachers formulate their strategies to teach grade 7 students, although we are having a limited contact with the students? How did they increase or at least help the students to develop their English reading skills while they are having modular print modality? Here, let's explore and identify the aim or purpose, period of the study, locality, subject matter, and population. Here, elements of a research problem. The aim or purpose is to determine the status of subject matter is the teaching of reading. Place or locality is Rafael Elizalde Memorial High School. Period of the study is during the school year 2021 to 2022. Population is grade 7 students and English teachers. Of course, grade 7 English teachers. Here, let's do a practice activity. Direction says use the following research topics, draft your research problem while enumerating its 5 important elements. How will modern technologies change the way of teaching in the future? You have to identify the subject matter, aim or purpose of the study, locality, period of the study, and population involved in that study. Now, if you have identified that the research problem posted in each number are not having enough elements, then you may add especially period of the study, population, and the locality where the study or the research study has to be conducted. Second, we have the effects of contemporary teaching methods. Third, how to manage bullies and take actions against bullying at education institutions. I hope you're ready to start with your activity. Let's have our work completed after 5 minutes. I will let you work with a partner. Let's have number 1. How will modern technologies change the way of teaching in the future? The aim or purpose of that is to show the relationship of modern technologies to how teaching can possibly be improved in the future. And here, let's have subject matter. Subject matter is the relationship of modern technologies and innovative teaching methods. Locality, of course, is Rafael Elizalde Memorial High School. That's in the main campus or main building. And the period of our study, school year 2021 to 2022. Lastly, the population of the study is we'll have 97 teachers of Rafael Elizalde Memorial High School involved in your study. They may be involved in answering questionnaires, or if you want to have a qualitative research study, you can set a structured or unstructured interview sessions with the teachers. I already provided you answers for the first example. That will be a part of your additional points. Let's work on the other items. Let me show you the other items I posted earlier. Here, we have the effects of contemporary teaching methods and how to manage bullies and take actions against bullying at education institutions. I hope I gave you just enough for you to be inspired and explore more and discover more about the topic. Please read your module. And if you cannot grasp ideas during the first time that you read it, you can still go back to the contents of your module, try reading it again, research for other ideas, and if you still have questions in mind, do not hesitate to send teacher a message and go back to the other contents of this video. Enjoy your researching! Bye-bye, class!